In last week's parsha, Paro appointed Yosef as viceroy over Egypt. During the 7 years of plenty, Yosef's plan for storing grain was carried out successfully, and eventually the famine arrived. As hunger spread throughout the region, Yosef's brothers came down from Canaan to purchase food. What follows is the well-known drama. The accusations, the tests, and ultimately the demand that Binyamin be brought to Egypt despite Yaakov's deep reluctance. Yosef then carefully constructs a scenario to see how the brothers will treat Binyamin, the other son of Rachel. In this week's parsha Vayigash, after Yehuda's impassioned plea, Yosef finally reveals his identity. He reassures his brothers, explains the divine plan behind his journey, and invites the entire family to come to Egypt, settle in Goshen, and survive the famine under his protection. Yet, a curious detail emerges. Even though Yosef had already extended this invitation, the matter still required Paro's formal approval. Paro instructs Yosef to tell his brothers to return to Canaan and bring Yaakov and the entire household down to Egypt. If Yosef was truly Paro's right-hand man, why wasn't his own authorization enough? Shouldn't his word have carried full authority? The Malbim suggests that Yosef's power as viceroy had limits, particularly regarding immigration. A viceroy could grant temporary refuge, but only Paro himself could authorize permanent settlement. According to this reading, Paro was telling Yosef to use his own authority to invite the family for the duration of the famine, emphasizing that their stay was meant to be temporary. As honored guests, they would naturally be placed in the best region, and so Paro advised Yosef to settle them in the fertile region of Goshen. While this explanation is elegant and helps explain Israel's early years in Egypt, it may give Paro too much credit for generosity. A more cynical but very plausible reading is that Paro and his court never fully trusted Yosef. Much like the modern accusation of dual loyalty, Yosef may always have been viewed with suspicion. They knew he was a Hebrew from Canaan, torn from his family. Those who witnessed his dramatic rise after interpreting Paro's dreams knew the truth of his origins, even if the general Egyptian public did not. Who could say whether Yosef still longed to reunite with his family, or what he might do if given the chance? Seen through this lens, Yosef's every move and communication was monitored. When Paro learned that Yosef's brothers had arrived, he seized the opportunity. By graciously inviting the entire family to settle in Egypt, Paro ensured that Yosef would have no reason and no ability to leave. What appeared to be kindness may actually have been a calculated act of control. This perspective may also shed light on the classic question, why did Yosef never contact his family to tell them that he was alive? Beyond the many explanations offered, one simple truth stands out. Yosef was never truly free. From the moment he arrived in Egypt, he belonged to someone. First, he was sold to Potiphar. Then he was imprisoned, likely still under Potiphar's authority as chief warden. And when he was elevated to viceroy, he became, in a very real sense, Paro's direct servant. It was a dramatic rise, but was still a form of captivity. Yosef may have wielded immense power, yet he remained bound to the Egyptian state and unable to reach beyond its borders. Yosef becomes the classic court Jew, running half the kingdom, keeping the system functioning, and earning the ruler's trust through competence and reliability. But his power has limits. He can advise, manage, and influence, but he can't decide everything. That's the reality of Jewish life in the diaspora. A Jew can rise high, contribute enormously, even shape the society around them, but the authority is never fully theirs. It's borrowed, and it lasts only as long as it's permitted. Yosef's story reminds us that life outside of our own land always comes with limits, even when things seem stable, and how quickly things can change when they don't. Shabbat Shalom.